I read when you're looking at your website and that you really believe that early on music and teaching music is essential to children's development. Could you kind of explain some of that?
Yeah, you know, about 35 years ago, music educators and also neurologists began studying the influence of music even in the womb, as young as you know, in utero, and have found that children who are exposed to music early on, even before they're born, are more sensitive to music later. So it always makes sense that once they've been born, that exposure to music is going to be a great thing for them. So we have classes for kids as young as 1 year old with that in mind, but of course the parents are with them. You know, and some of our teachers even started teaching the parents about how to read music. We don't expect the 1 year olds going to get the visual part of the class, but they move and they still try the instruments, and we've had kids that say, I remember when I was 2 and I tried a trombone, and you know, it really you know, impacted me. So that hands-on experience with them when they're really young is good. And the other thing I tell parents is that music is a language, and like every language, it's really great to learn it young. If I try to learn, you know, Chinese as an adult, I'd never sound like a native speaker ever. But if I'd learned as a child, I would be able to speak and understand the tones and the sounds and do it appropriately. So music is the same. So if I sing with my child in the early years, then they're going to be able to be more responsive to sound later. They're going to be able to operate that really second, or in some cases a third language, very fluently. And as they do that, then they're building like the foundation upon which all of the, it's kind of like the vowels and the consonants of the language become the foundation upon which all the instrumental learning can be built. If you have a narrow foundation, then guess what? You don't sing very much or not accurately, then your structure will be more unwieldy. So we really encourage families to sing with their children, to expose them to music, to allow that to happen.
So you actually brought a clip to show. So
I did.
What is this clip that we're going to see?
This is a little clip of our early music awareness course, and we teach it sometimes for 9 months at a time, and it shows the 6 parts of the class and several children doing different things, and it'll kind of explain what that early music awareness class looks like.
Well, good. Let's see the clip.
Look at that.
They look like they're having so much fun.
They do have fun.
Like
I mean, they do have fun.
Yeah. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Well, it's time for our last musician.
So this is Jacques Abihana, and he's going to play the Ronda alla Turca by Mozart.
Oh. songs, my goodness, they're just all over the place. Very good.
Well, where else? Well, now you've got to have some of the kids on here, but where is there other opportunities for the children in your school to perform or so they can get out and express their new talents?
Yeah, I really think that it's important for kids to share what they have and the gifts that they have and as they grow. And so we offer recitals twice a year in the fall and in the spring, and we have about 15 recitals each season to accommodate all the students and also to make sure each recital isn't long and boring. So our recitals are about 75 minutes long, and they have a variety of different levels and different instruments and singers and little groups that perform. Even little 2-year-olds sometimes come on and perform in their early music awareness classes with little sticks or something. And we've had kids that have learned how to do that when they're 2 or 3, and now they're performing, writing songs, growing up. We've had kids go through our system, come back and teach for us. So those opportunities to perform are really important. But some classes have a designation as performance classes, so that'd be like dance classes or vocal classes. So we let those kids perform in what we call community events. We call them share and care. So 3 times a year we offer share and care recitals where they just go into the community to a convalescent hospital or somewhere and share what they've done so that people can be touched by their music, and they get a great audience. Everybody
really
loves
nice.
them when they're there.
And yeah, they're so appreciative about that.
Yeah.
Now we got a couple minutes left. What is, let's say, the number one question that you get from parents? What would that be?
Wow. I would say the number one question is, when is my child going to be ready for piano lessons? And we answer that with a developmental approach. So what I say to parents is, when your child can function like a 6-year-old academically, socially, physically, then we think that they can have a positive experience learning. Now, you can start earlier than that, but it'd be like potty training when you're 1-year-old. It might not be very much fun. But if you start when a child is developmentally ready, then they're going to have that positive experience. That, for us, is the bottom line. We want them to enjoy it when they begin, not be burned out because they started too soon or when it was too hard for them. So what we do is, in these assessments, we quantify the developmental readiness in the auditory, academic areas, in the social areas. Are they interactive? Are they compliant? What's their attention span like? And those things give us a sense of what to do.
Have you ever gotten a child that just can't carry a tune, and what would you do with that child?
We have kids like that, and so we are going to steer them toward a different instrument than the voice, but also we believe that while the child is young, the voice is still malleable, and you really can develop more accuracy in your pitch. So we just help them with that. If that's something they have a heart for, that's what their passion is, then let's help them do better
do they
at what their passion
that?
is. You can grow more accurate in your singing. Yeah, it's hard work, but it's a lot easier to do when you're young. I tried working with my stepfather when he was my stepfather, and he didn't have good pitch, and it was he improved, but it was really slow going. But with children, they can learn. But if they don't have a natural ability to sing accurately, then it's not going to ever be as fluent for them as it would be for someone who did.
Do they know that they're off key?
Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't.
Because their heart seems to be with it when they're performing. But I was just wondering, do they hear it themselves?
It's interesting. Sometimes the kids that have the most passion, they're oblivious to what they sound like. But you know what? I don't care. If they have passion, then I want to give them that opportunity to share it in the best way they can, and we make the accompaniment fit, and we do the best to make them sound the best because it's what's in their heart. I don't want to say, you're not good at this, you should never do this. I would never say that to a child. I think that could be damaging to them. But we're going to help support them if that's what their passion really is. We're probably not going to encourage them to go to Carnegie Hall.
So you do not emphasize just classical? You have a variety of different music?
Yeah, I guess you probably noticed that in the kids that came today. We have, kids that sing, they like to sing. We don't have in fact, our voice teachers who have operatic training wish we had more students that were more serious and wanted to do Italian music and opera and so forth.
There's so much time.
But there's so much time, and they start with things that are more fun and contemporary, and the technique of learning how to sing is the thing that's important. It doesn't matter really what the songs are at the very beginning.
They'll be exposed to it so much, and of course the rock music and all that, they can't avoid Lady Gaga and all that. They hear that, but it's nice to have a variety of music. So
We try and make sure
wanna
it's
thank you
wholesome,
so
yeah.
much for being here today, and I want to thank our young musicians for being here. You sounded great. Thank you so much. And for details about the school, you can check the website. So thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Thanks for watching the show, and watch again.
Come back again.